Hello. Uh, I'm grateful to be here with you today. And I am asking the mystery and the creator to be with us in our conversation today, as always. And we are talking about saffron. That is saffron behind me. We are talking about this evening preparation, and we're asking for permission from the mystery, and we're sending a prayer. We're sending our voice in a good, true, and beautiful way. And we are asking for the ability to heal together, to create healing, to bring the healing power of our hearts together, and of our true natures and the nature of the heart. And that we can lead well and love well and express what it is that most needs to be for our collective healing at this time, for the good of the earth and the good of all beings. We welcome you, Creator. And so I was thinking about needs as we're in preparation for grandmother. We're in preparation for grandmother having her conversation for us about preparations and with us about preparations. I've been thinking about needs, and I've been thinking about preparation. And I've been thinking also today, I had the honor, I was asked to do the closing ceremony for a program at COESA, a leadership and mindfulness healing program called COESA. And so I had the holy privilege and honor of doing the closing talk, or a commencement talk for their program. And I was thinking about, what do we need in order to feel like we can close well, or like we can complete? How can we have that sense, or that ability, or that knowledge that that we can let go and that we can go on? And so I just thought that that was something really interesting to think about today and to wonder about today. I was also thinking about Maslow's theory of needs, and I have this I printed today. And basic needs are food, water, warmth, and rest. Food, water, warmth, and rest. So our physiological needs are, shelter. We need to have shelter. My hopes and my thoughts are that we can have not only the shelter of home, but we also want to have that shelter of humanity and of one another, the protection and the shelter of one another. And so I think about the physiological needs of really shelter, and also touch. We do need, I believe that is really a basic human need that we all have at this time. And then we also need belonging. We have love needs, intimate relationships and friends. And we have safety needs, security, the need for security and the need for safety. And so I would just ask us, how safe do I feel? Do I have food, water, warmth, and rest? If I do have those things, is there a way for me to offer those things to other people who may not have them or are in need of them? And how can I do that in a way that engenders respect and creates really more respect in the world and within ourselves? So I think about that. I also think about with safety needs and with security and safety, how much security and safety do I create? Am I able to create a sense of protection and safety and security? And how safe am I? Am I able to create that safety? And am I also able to respond well and to be approachable and accountable? Are we able to do that especially in the places where we're leading? Are we able to really be approachable so that we're amenable to feedback, and thereby to growth and to change, because we all really need some really positive changes at this time. And then the belonging and the love needs. What is the am I the kind of friend that I'd want to have? Like, am I the kind of friend that I want to have? It's a real question. Like, it's that we can ask ourselves. Like, am I the partner that I would like to have? Am I the friend that I would like to have? Am I the ally, the guardian that I would like to have? And just to really look at, am I able to be, a helping spirit? Like, is my spirit able to be a helping spirit and to create more security and more safety in all my relationships and in my world and with my friends? Then we go to the psychological needs, right? So what are our psychological needs? And, prestige or a feeling of accomplishment. And so I would ask, like, oh, well, what do I feel? Do I have a sense of accomplishment? Do I feel that I have, you know, accomplished something, that I have been able to offer my life, my wisdom gained through experience to folks who ask for it. We don't want to give it. You don't want to be just like running around giving giving your wisdom to people who haven't asked you for it. So you only really want to share what it is that you've learned for people who ask you for your help and for your expertise or for your wisdom. Although expertise is not a favorite word of mine. I don't really know. I think none are that wise to, I think mastery in some areas where we have a lot of experience, but I think it would be more experience instead of expertise per se. And so there's just that knowledge that we always have so much more to learn. And then, we go to self-fulfillment needs, which is self-actualization, achieving one's full potential, including creative activities. And so, do I feel like my basic needs are met? Am I seeing that my basic needs are met? And then I can look at my esteem needs or my psychological needs, which are, that feeling of accomplishment. Like, I've been able to offer my gifts. I've been able to do something. I've been able to have an impact. And one of the things I've noticed is that oftentimes we don't even really recognize our impact, like that we're actually having an impact, but we're always having an impact. We are having an impact. And it's easy to see that even, when we're standing in line at a grocery store, we're having an impact. If I have a good and, attitude about my, the possibilities, I have, some kind of ability to have an impact. And so, we can look at our impact and think about our impact and make sure that it's an impact that is, turning things in a more positive and beneficial direction. If I don't know what that is, I can ask around. I can ask, hey, how can I turn things in a more positive and beneficial direction? And there's people who know us and people who love us, and they will let us know. They will let us know where we are needed. But also the beautiful thing is where we are not needed. So that's also a really good and positive thing. And so I found this wonderful poem, a really powerful poem. I was really moved by this. And this is by Brother Richard Hendrick. It was written on the 13th of March, 2020. It's called Lockdown. And it says, Brother Richard is a Capuchin Franciscan friar living and working in Ireland. He is currently serving as the guardian of Aird's Friary in Donegal. And so I really appreciated this poem when I read it, and I want to share with you. It says, yes, there is fear. Yes, there's isolation. Yes, there's panic buying. Yes, there's sickness. Yes, there's even death. But they say that in Wuhan, after so many years of noise, you can hear the birds again. They say that after just a few weeks of quiet, the sky is no longer thick with fumes, but blue and gray and clear. They say that in the streets of Assisi, people are singing to each other across empty squares, keeping their windows open so that those who are alone may hear the sounds of family around them. They say that in a hotel in the west of Ireland, they are offering free meals and delivery to the housebound. Today, a young woman I know is busy spreading flyers with her number through the neighborhood so that the elders may have someone to call on. Today, churches, synagogues, mosques, and temples are preparing to welcome, to shelter the homeless, the sick, the weary, the homeless, the sick, the weary. All over the world, people are slowing down and reflecting. All over the world, people are looking at their up to a new reality, to how big we really are, to how little control we really have, to how little to love. So we pray and we remember that yes, there is fear, but there does not have to be hate. Yes, there's isolation, but yes, there is panic buying, but there does not have to be meanness. Yes, there does not have to be disease of the soul. Yes, there is death, but there can always be a rebirth of love. Wake to the choices you make as to how to live now. Today, listen behind the factory noises of your panic. Wake to the choices you make as you live now. Today, listen behind the factory noises of your panic. The birds are singing again. The sky is clearing. Spring is coming, and we are all encompassed by love. Open the windows of your soul, though you may not be able to touch across the empty square. Sing, sing. Lockdown by Brother Richard Hendrick, 13th of March, 2020. And I appreciated this for a lot of different reasons. But one of the reasons is that, how can we acknowledge the fear? How can we acknowledge all the things that we are so afraid of? How can we acknowledge the fears and still attend to our ability to make a good choice moment by moment? And what are the choices that we can make? What are the things that we can do? What are the experiences that we can have? And how can we express what it is that we need to express? Because also in this, what we're looking at is we're looking at how can we acknowledge what is not working and acknowledge what is working? Yes, what it is that we need to do, and we address what has not been done, what has not been done. And so what we have the opportunity to do at this time is to look at what has not been done. And I appreciate what I've heard from several speakers, but in so many words, Oprah Winfrey saying, to have the America that we haven't had, that we need to have an America that we haven't had, and that we really do want to attend to the very best of our ability in all of our bodies, in all of the, the white bodies, and all of the black bodies, and all of the brown bodies, and all of the red bodies, and all of the bodies, the yellow bodies, all of the bodies of the four directions, the four winds, the four roads, as we know them, that my mother taught me, that there's the four roads and the four nations. And so how do we attend to these bodies, these sacred bodies, and how do we really extend ourselves and extend our voice, our lives, our hearts into the lives of others in such a way that it has a positive impact going forward. So how do we use our voices, our lives, our medicine? There's a really beautiful book that I love. Actually, I'll get it. It's a little way here. And it's called My Grandmother's Hands by Resmaa Menakem. And so I'm just finding at this time that that this is something really powerful at this time. If you're looking for some reading, and if you're looking for a way that you can address what is happening in a useful and a way where you're able to engage some new, I think they're called new neural pathways, create some neural pathways as we all need some powerful change at this time. So this is My Grandmother's Hands, Racialized Trauma and the Pathways to Mending Our Hearts and Our Bodies by Resmaa Menakem. And so I would like to recommend this book. This will be good reading and very important reading, essential reading at this time. And then also, how can we attend to these needs? And among those needs is this call for us to show up and be present to what needs healing, and how we're going to go present forward in new ways. And so my prayer is that we can show up and be in the conversation in a humble and good, true, and beautiful way. And so I hope that you are well, and I am so grateful to be with you, and I'm sending my voice in a sacred manner and asking that we can follow what Maya Angelou says, which is, so use that anger, yes. Use that anger, yes. So use that anger, yes. You write it, you paint it, you dance it, you march it, you vote it. You do everything about it. You talk it. You never stop talking it. Never stop talking it. Maya Angelou. That was posted a few days ago on her Twitter that she sends out from the mystery. And so many blessings, and I will look forward to talking with you on Friday.